Coming up on this week's show, we have highlights from our men's and women's bowling team, softball, both of our basketball teams, and we check in with the LTU dance team. Don't go anywhere because the LTU Sports Report starts right now. What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Sarah Davis. The LTU Sports Report is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Also, a shout out to Henry Ford Sports Medicine for sponsoring this show. Let's kick off the action with some highlights from our men's and women's bowling competition.
After a second-place finish in WAC number 1 from the men and a third-place finish from the women, both teams looked for and earned redemption at their home alley at 5 Star Lanes in Sterling Heights. On the men's side, the guys came out with a monstrous start, delivering a whopping 13-16 team game to take an early 258-pin lead. Freshman Noah Samuels even achieved perfection in his first collegiate game, launching a 300 to lead the way. Samuels trekked his way to a second-place individual finish with games of 300, 226, and a 213 for a 739 series. In team games 2 and 3, the Blue Devils delivered an 11-10 and a 10-75 to maintain a 200-pin advantage. Taking the reins for games 2 and 3 was freshman Michael Weber, delivering a 246 and a 249 after already shooting to 280 in game 1. Weber brought home a first-place individual finish, which earned him WAC Men's Bowler of the Week honors. The men had too big of a lead for anyone to catch and solidified their first-place finish after 10 final Baker games, winning WAC Jamboree number 2 by over 400 pins. On the women's side, the Blue Devils shot a 10:54 to lead after game 1, and they never looked back. They went on to shoot a field high 992 for game 2 and again a field high 1073 in game 3. For the Baker games, the ladies averaged 208 through the 10 games, over 10 pins higher than the next closest team. Overall, they smashed the field, defeating second place by over 300 pins and third place by over 600 pins. On the individual side, senior Victoria Giardina demolished the competition, rolling a 267 game 1, followed by a 251 and a 197 for a 715 series to claim the top spot in the individual standings. Giardina also earned herself WAC Bowler of the Week honors for her performance. Caroline Holowenko wasn't far behind with a 254 game 3 to shoot 649 and finish 4th. All 5 starters finished inside the top 20 to propel the Blue Devils to a first-place finish for WAC Jamboree number 2. After 2 outings, both the men's and women's teams have slight leads in the conference standings. They'll both look to extend their dominance on Saturday the 6th at the WAC Jamboree number 3 in Lansing.
Up next, we meet a student athlete in this week's segment of Get to Know.
I'm Jessica Koji, and I'm a freshman, and I play soccer. My favorite TV show is Grey's Anatomy, because I like the drama in it. My favorite musical artist would probably be Gashi, because he's Albanian and I'm Albanian. So my favorite vacation spot is overseas in Montenegro, because that's where I'm from. My celebrity crush is David Beckham, because I think he's just so cute and adorable. Outside of soccer, I like playing basketball, because it's another way to stay active.
The men's and women's basketball team had a very busy week. Here's the first of 3 packages we'll have for you today. The men's and women's basketball teams both hit the road to face off against the Warriors of Rochester. Both teams pulled off impressive wins in their first game back since the layoff. Playing full 40-minute games has been a challenge for the Blue Devils. Who will come out on top? Let's find out. Starting with the women, Lawrence Tech would start the game strong, taking 20-13 lead after the first, but it would be a slow drop-off after, and the Blue Devils would struggle to find the bottom of the net. Junior Kendall Fisher would have the hot hand and lead all scorers with 25 points. Lawrence Tech would go on to drop this one 69-75.
Continue to get better, get ready for Cornerstone on Monday. Just rebounding and doing different details in order to get ready for next week.
Yeah, I think we did a lot of things well today. I think we competed from, tip to buzzer. I think we fell short on some details, and we talk about it all the time, right? Those details make good teams great and great teams champions. So, we're in a learning phase right now. I'm really proud of our effort. Our competitive spirit has been there the last 2 games, and when we're doing all those little things and diving on the ground and getting loose balls and getting 50-50 balls, I couldn't ask for much more. So really proud of our growth.
On to the men's side of things, it was a tale of 2 halves. The first half was a back and forth battle with both teams knocking down shots early. LTU would trail 34-37 going into the break. Coming back from the break, the Blue Devils would struggle to stop the Warriors and would go cold from the field. Junior big man Gunnar Gustafson handled business in the paint and led all scorers with 27 points. Lawrence Tech would go on to drop this one 83-66.
Coming into this game, they were going to be a lot bigger than us and a lot taller than us. We had some unfortunate news this morning with Al being out, and that's just the stuff we're going to have to work through this season. And we knew coming in they're going to try to get a lot of points in the paint, and they did that. And they surprised us with some 3-point shooting in the first half. But we battled and stayed in there, and it was just really good for us to see that and staying in there. And then we came out really flat the second half, and they just got up, and we tried to fight back, but we just couldn't handle it. And that's something we're going to have to work on, is we can't come out flat to any half to start or the second half. And we really learned our lesson there because they just came out and completely outplayed us in the second half.
We're going to take a short break, but before we go, I want you to help us spread the word about LTU's Recruit Yourself campaign. If you know anyone who's interested in playing any of our sports for our teams, please tell them to visit LTUathletics.com and click on the Recruit Yourself link.
If you're a high school athlete with the dream of playing college sports, Lawrence Technological University wants you to recruit yourself. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports, including its newest additions, competitive cheer and dance, esports, women's hockey, and men's and women's track and field. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.
Welcome back to the LTU Sports Report. Let's take a look at how the men's and women's basketball team did against Cornerstone.
The Lawrence Tech basketball teams are back on the road, this time to face the Eagles of Cornerstone University. Starting with the women, the Blue Devils look to bounce back after falling short to Rochester. LTU head coach Grace Horrington says she likes the effort that her girls are playing with. Can the Blue Devils pull off this win? Starting in the first quarter, LTU kept the game close, but found themselves playing from behind after starting the game cold from the field. And that would transition into the second quarter, where the Blue Devils would fight their way back, but they would still find themselves down 28-33 at the half. Coming back from the break, the Blue Devils could not buy themselves a basket. But this was a different story for the senior Taryn Klein, who was on fire from the floor, hitting 4 3-pointers and scoring 17 second-half points, giving her 22 points on the night. Lawrence Tech would drop this one 61-80. Over to the men's side of things. The Blue Devils would like to focus on playing better in the second half. The first half was a tight battle with both teams making shots and coming up with big plays. However, LTU would go into the half trailing 33-35. Coming back from the break, the Eagles would take control of this game after scoring 13 straight points late in the second half. Junior Isaiah Cumberland would lead the Blue Devils in scoring with 10 points. Lawrence Tech would go on to lose this one 50-67.
And here's a recap of the first softball games of 2021.
Softball is back at Lawrence Tech, and the ladies in blue look to warm things up with a 3-game scrimmage at the Legacy Center in Brighton, Michigan. Up first, the Raiders of OCC. This was a back-and-forth battle that saw LTU's pitching staff collectively find a way to close out a 9-8 victory. In Game 2 of the day, the new-look Blue Devils faced the Eagles of Judson University. Lawrence Tech promptly jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the first inning and kept the traffic on the base paths for the vast majority of the day. 5 more runs were plated in the second inning. 6 different Blue Devils touched home plate en route to an explosive 11-1 victory in 5 innings. In the third and final game of the day, LTU's lineup was kept relatively quiet by St. Xavier's right-hander Jackie Holloway, who surrendered just 3 hits and struck out 6 in a 4-2 victory over Lawrence Tech. The Blue Devils travel to Tennessee next up to play in the Bear Creek Tournament.
And it's time once again to get to know another student athlete.
My name is Jessica Lodge. I'm on the women's varsity volleyball team and I'm a senior. My favorite superhero is probably Thor because I like the Greek gods and he's hot. My favorite TV show is Friends because it reminds me of my friend group. My favorite animal is sea turtles because I love the ocean. My favorite sports team is the Stanford women's volleyball team just because they're awesome and really inspirational. My celebrity crush is probably Chris Pine. I just loved all the movies that he's been in so far.
The dance team competed in their second competition of the 2021 season. Let's check in with them and see how they did.
We usually start the live stream up to about 20 minutes before we're supposed to perform, and then our coach gets a text from the judges like, hey, we're ready to watch you guys perform, and so we line up and we do our dance, and it's live streamed to the judges and so they can score it. It's very different because first of all, there's no audience, so we're not really performing to a group of people, we're just performing in a gym together and our coach is there cheering us on.
So we have a few more competitions left. We're also performing at basketball games and football games, so that's pretty much we have planned. I guess our biggest thing that we want to accomplish is just getting better together and constantly getting better at competitions. I think because our team is so small, it just makes it a lot better and we're tight-knit and we're all friends with each other and talk to each other all the time.
The men's and women's basketball teams both played Madonna University on Wednesday night. We were there to capture all of the excitement. Let's roll the footage.
We're back inside the Don Riddler Fieldhouse where the Lawrence Tech basketball teams look to get back to their winning ways. Tonight they square off against the Crusaders of Madonna University. Starting with the woman, tonight LTU also honored starting point guard Kendall Fisher as she has surpassed the 1,000 point mark for the Blue Devils. Lawrence Tech is also looking for their first win of the conference season. Can they come up with the victory? Starting in the first quarter, here's senior Taryn Klein with a nice pass down low to freshman Sierra Harris, who scores over her defender for 2. The game will be tied 10-10 at the end of the first. Both teams would exchange buckets throughout the second quarter, and LTU would take a 1-point lead into the half. Coming back from the break, we're going to jump to the fourth quarter where the Blue Devils would heat up, scoring 28 fourth quarter points, led by Klein, who drives hard to the basket for 2. Lawrence Tech would go on to win their first conference match of the season, 67-48.
The same thing stands, attention to detail, take care of the basketball, do the little things, box out, crash boards, know them, but at the end of the day, we got to do us, and we'll see. We're excited for tomorrow.
On to the men now, who would be without their starter, junior Isaiah Cumberland. They are looking to snap a 3-game losing skid. Will tonight be the night? Starting in the first half, here's the big man Gunnar Gustafson, who takes the ball strong down the lane for the jam. Lawrence Tech would find themselves down 10 at the half. Coming back from the break, here's the senior Alex Ivanovic, who splashes a 3 from downtown. Later on in the half, though, it will be the Oak Park native Sana Sisawo, who drives hard down the lane for the 2 points and the and 1 play. Despite the strong effort from the Blue Devils, Lawrence Tech would go on to drop this game 74-63.
As a team, I think, the second half, coming in the second half, we competed a little bit more. I wish we could have did that more in the first half. That probably would have helped us more.
It's game after game, so not much practice time there. But with a couple guys out, we just want to get guys more familiar with what we're doing offensively, more comfortable, and just continue to be us, continue to get better in all phases.
Well, everybody, that's all that we have for you this week on the LTU Sports Report. Thanks for watching. I'd like you to follow all of our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at LTU Athletics. And don't forget to listen and subscribe to our new podcast, Blue Devils In Depth. I'm your host, Sarah Davis. We'll see you next week right here on the LTU Sports Report.